Spook House Podcast. My name is Phil, and this is my lovely co-host, Douglas. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing so good right now. I'm feeling refreshed. No crust in my eyes. It does happen from time to time. I hope you're also feeling refreshed because we're going to need a lot of fuel for this one.
Yeah, we are. We are going to talk about The Crow, the movie that nobody wanted. I mean, according to the box office, it's not looking too great. I think it even broke 5 million yet, or
not even. So, I mean, it's only Tuesday today. It made like 4 million, which is pretty abysmal.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the budget on this was, but fun fact, the original sequel to The Crow, City of Angels, right? That's the sequel. Yeah. It made double what this reboot of The Crow made. It made 8 million opening weekend.
Oh, damn.
This made 4 million. So that kind of tells you something.
Yeah, and that was in 96. So, and you know what? I kind of like The Crow, City of Angels.
I know you fuck with the soundtrack.
Yeah, soundtrack is great. I mean, the movie's not perfect, but I think Vincent Perez plays a good Eric Draven. And Iggy Pop is a villain in it. It actually has aesthetic and grit, and it has a pretty unique look to it, unlike this movie.
I know a lot of people, maybe not in like our circle, but people like to trash the 90s. But in reality, I think the 90s has a lot to offer with just like the value of how everything looks, and like all the worlds in a lot of movies were like very, very imaginative, and this one lacks so much imagination. I mean, I don't want to get into it right off the bat, but
I mean, we can. I don't know. Let's you know what? Let's start with some positives, because very rarely does a movie come out where I can't find something to appreciate about it. So, I mean, you hate this a lot more than me, I think.
I think this movie sucked 10,000 dicks in a row. It was heinous, horrible, and you saw it before me, and yes. I went into it. Listen, I went into it with like, me and you are not the biggest fans of I like The Crow. I know you like The Crow, but sure. Same thing with Alien. It's not like held to the upper echelons of cinema for us per se, and The Crow has a lot of value. I don't hate The Crow at all, but like, you saw this first and you were like, it was a movie. That's what you texted me. It was a movie.
Out of all the movies I have seen, this was one of them. I can say that.
It could go on the list as movies that you've seen this year.
Yeah.
That might be the only list that it's making the cut on. Yeah, I mean, I went into it. I tried so hard to go into it with no expectations, right? Like, right. It's hard to do that when you're attached to an original property and it's a reboot of something. The action looked cool from the trailer. I was like, okay, maybe this will just be like a fun, no nonsense movie like that. I just had no fun. I had no fun. I don't think I think it took itself too seriously and didn't really have any type of like anchor. Like, the film had no anchor.
Yeah, it didn't have anything to say. It didn't present anything new in terms of visual style, or I mean, I guess I can try to give it credit for not being a straight up beat for beat remake.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the positives. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah. Oh, it's okay. I mean, there's not that many, but I can applaud it for not doing the fan service thing. It's so far from the original, but yet it's just so bland. It barely feels like a Crow movie. I mean, you see a crow here and there. You got the makeup, but other than that, it just feels like insert generic action movie.
This is like it's like the edgelord version of The Crow. It's just like what studios think that Gen Z wants to see, down to the haircut, down to the, like, you got the trench coat, and I don't know what Bill Skarsgård was doing with that voice or accent or
Which one?
There's plenty. It felt like I was watching a visual Duolingo session.
Yeah, I was talking to you about this earlier. I was like, at about 4 different points in the movie, he's using like kind of a different accent. I'm like, he's doing like the dirtbag white guy, like, "Oh, what's up, girl?" Like, yeah, that's crazy. And then he's got,
Man, that's crazy.
hold on, Mipsy's playing with a ping pong ball.
Damn.
Okay.
Snatch that real quick. Stop ruining my show.
But yeah, he has like the dirtbag voice. There was one point he sounded like a New Yorker from the 1940s. He's like, "Come here, you. I'm gonna suck you one."
It's like his name was Bugsy Malone or something. Like, suck it to me, baby. Take my wife, please. He's like the epitome of ah.
Yeah, and like at the very end, what?
Oh my God.
What was that line?
Like, you don't know what hell awaits you. Yes, I do. Like, what are you doing? Why do you sound like the Cookie Monster all of a sudden?
I do.
He like closed his mouth too much for that you. It's like, you don't need to talk like that.
So, what did you think of all the scenes where he's in like this?
A nice pink jumpsuit that he got from H&M. Looked like a dope sweater. Not gonna lie.
No, I'm talking about like the other realm that he enters, where he's like talking to the wise janitor.
Thank you, wise janitor.
Hi, I'm the wise janitor.
Like,
Believe in the ball. Throw yourself.
I'm the wise janitor. I'm here to impart knowledge.
I liked the idea of that. I liked how it looked like, I think it could have been executed a lot better. There were so many puddles in there. I didn't really understand like the dimension shifting. Like he just went into water and then all of a sudden came out of this black water. And then he saw the guy who was actually, spoilers, an EMT person.
Yeah, what was... I don't know. What the fuck was up with that? It's like I know we're jumping all over the place, but at the very end, it's like, oh, the wise man was an EMT, but he died and Shelley lived.
He's allowed to come back into the real world. I mean, they didn't really go into like the lore. Mm-hmm. Like how like Danny Houston was like, wait, like tonguing people's eardrums.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that? He like leans into the ear. It's like, "What do you see, my dick?"
Inspired the Ding Dong Twins over here.
The Ding Dong Twins.
Watch out, the Devil Singing Yin Yang Twins over here.
And Danny Houston, he's a great actor.
Great actor.
Yeah, like I felt like he was underutilized. He was just, not to keep taking it back to the original, but I feel like you kind of have to when you're talking about this movie. But if you look at the villains from the first movie, like Fun Boy and all the other villains, like Tony Todd as the henchman,
yeah,
all of them had unique characteristics and they were fleshed out. With this, it was like Google, bad guy, villain, insert. There was just, I couldn't tell you their fucking names.
Because I'm sure it was Jerry Smith or something. But you can't just put someone in a black suit and tie and call them a bad guy. There needs to be something that stands out, and that's where we kind of agree on. Well, we agree on a lot of stuff with this movie, but it's just bland and basic, and it's just like very generic villain, very generic, female character, very generic lead character. Like everything was just very generic and bare bones, and nothing was interesting about this movie to latch onto. Like just the name from the original, Fun Boy. Like, like that is a very like rich
why
name.
do they call him Fun Boy?
Yeah, like there's some intrigue there.
Right.
This was just henchman number 1 through 5, just random guy smoking in the car in front of the building. And he got, again, I'm sorry for jumping around, but like when he breaks into Danny Houston's like mansion and he's supposedly like working for the devil and has the powers of the devil or is the devil, he just waltzed right through the door. Honey, I'm home. He's like, I love Lucy. No henchmen, no security guards, nothing. Just walked right into his house.
Well, I guess by that point, he had taken out all the henchmen, so this was like the final boss moment. And hey, you could have done something good here, but when it's finally the Crow versus the devil, I don't fucking know. Like, what's his story? I don't know. Who cares? It was very anticlimactic. They just go to this other world and go fuck yourself, and these demons come out and drag him down. It's like, that's it?
It gives him a nice little dip in the water.
Yeah, this is the final boss, and that's it. They went like Jason Goes to Hell style with the little demons coming up and grabbing him.
Oh yeah, like the looked like Gyarados, like the Pokemon swimming through that little puddle.
I don't get the reference, but I'm sure you're spot on.
You weren't a Pokemon person?
Nah, not really.
Not even like Game Boy Color, like red and yellow.
Never played any of it. It just confused me. People be like, "Oh, this card's a Zibachu," and I'm like, what the I don't. Okay.
Level 90 Zamutron.
Yeah, exactly.
And he evolves into Duganaut.
Yeah, it's just beyond me. I don't understand it. Not hating on people that are into it. Do your thing, but it's just not for me.
I loved the Game Boy games back in the day, and then Pokemon Snap and N64, but I collected the cards, but just because I liked the characters from the game.
Yeah, go off.
This isn't a tangent at all.
Totally not. No.
Yeah, but everything about the ending scene was just it had no pulse. The movie had no pulse all the way through it. And throughout the theater, I was like, the theater experience, I was like, I want to like something. Give me something to hang my hat on with this movie. Even like, I think the trailer gave away most of that opera house scene. I will say that positive. Like, that was a cool setting for like a lot of kills to happen. And the gore was there. The blood kind of looked like, was this rated R? This was, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, look, for all its faults, this movie it's got some pretty extreme shit when it comes to gore. And, there's one scene where he's beating the shit out of that guy with a shotgun and the blood's spraying on the camera. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a very intense scene. But again, if you want like intense rated R, just all out madness, the John Wick movies can do that for you and choreographed better. I think the directing was so sloppy during those action scenes, jumping back and forth from like the opera to to him getting, bucked down by the shotguns and stabbed with the samurai sword. It was just like it was very hard to like make out what was going on.
I'm sure it could have been done better. The whole opera scene was pretty fucking badass. Objectively, that's a cool scene.
Yeah.
In a shit movie.
Yeah, if you're gonna walk away from this movie with anything, that's the scene to watch. He's walking up the steps and people are shooting at him and he's healing like fucking Wolverine. And
I thought it was pretty cool how you do see his wounds regenerate. I thought that was well done.
Yeah, I did. The one cool part about that too was when his intestines were kind of like falling out, and he kind of had to push him back in a little bit. Good idea.
Yeah,
but just all around just rough. And I think they spoiled the one cool moment in that whole action sequence is when he got stabbed in the middle of his chest and he shot the dude through his own chest. Like, that was badass, but everyone saw it in the trailer.
Yeah.
I think they could have saved a little bit.
And that kill with the sword where he pushes it against that guy's mouth and his fucking jaw falls off. Like, it's like, hell yeah, this is badass. I wish the rest of the movie were this cool.
Yeah, had that same energy, but it treaded the line of like what it wanted to be. I felt like everyone was kind of just squandering with this movie. It was like you said, it went like really really loud and then really quiet, and
Yeah, the
pacing was
pacing,
just off.
right?
It was
Because
strange.
I told you that before you watched it. I was like, well,
Yeah.
you'll see what I mean. Did you see what I mean? How it's like, it'll go from action and then Eric is walking up to Shelly's mom's apartment and having some boring conversation. Bill Skarsgård looks like he needs a nap. It's like, dude, like I know you're a great actor. Come on.
Yeah, there was a lot of unnecessary scenes that I thought could have been cut of just him walking. It seemed like it was there to like fill time and just like show him like brooding, which
Yeah.
we already got. Like, all right, we get it. Your eyeliner's running. You're sad. You're upset.
Hey, whoa, Doug. He writes numb on the walls. Not once, but twice.
Just take a page literally out of Jared Leto's Joker notebook, throw it on the wall. Like if you had enough of kids drawing weird pictures, this is a grown adult, just to show you he's emotionally torn and tattered.
How old is he supposed to be, by the way?
Good question.
Because FKA Twigs, she's like 35, 36. Are these supposed to be like 19, 20-year-olds or what?
I honestly can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it would work a lot better with like if they wanted to really go like the wild and crazy like Gen Z route, they should have went younger. If they wanted to do something more like at least more different than the original.
Yeah, you know what? If they had went like leaned fully into the, I don't know, Gen Z,
Yeah,
whatever,
younger generation.
if you want to call it that, and do something wildly different, but just make it good, make it unique, I would rather say, okay, well, that wasn't for me, but I can respect it for what it did. It did it well, but everything in this movie is just, it's so generic. Like even the camera work, the acting. Name a cool set from this movie other than the Opera House. It doesn't exist. It's just boring.
Yeah, like no like you said before, the style was just nowhere to be found. The lighting,
style.
no light, like no interesting lighting, no interesting camera angles, nothing. And like it was just like he put the camera down and hit record and was like stepping away and going to get coffee. Like it was just hands off is what it seemed like. There was nothing like, which is what out of all the movies this year, like Alien Romulus, that we both weren't really fans of, but Fede Alvarez made it feel like an Alien movie. There was interesting camera work, there was a
Interesting
style.
sets.
Yes, practical effects. There was something about it. This was just like Chicago, like, and again, just judging it I'm just saying a random city. For all it could have been anywhere USA, for all we know, because it literally just like there was a generic, villain headquarters with a big building and a huge, round table with a desk.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed that, comparing it to the original with unique henchmen and villains, this one was just so generic in terms of that. They went even the most generic route where it's the rich, sophisticated rich guy trope. The guy that listens to classical music and his assistant, hey, we have a problem. Yes. Like that type of shit. Like,
Yeah.
let's smoke a cigar and talk about how we're going to take over the world. That type of just horse shit.
Yeah, they did that in Pinky and the Brain in 1995, and it was fun then.
Do those kind of people exist, by the way? Like if you were over at someone's house and they walked in the living room and like dropped the needle on a classical record and he pours himself a whiskey and walks over by the window and says something like, "We're not so different, you and I." You'd be like, "Hey, Why are you being weird? Why are you talking like that?
Those guys exist, but they only exist like that in their minds. Truly, they're the Shermanator from American Pie. They're walking over to the window and trying to look interesting, and everyone is like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Like, hey man, this isn't a movie. Can you stop being weird?
Where are you wearing a tie right now?
Oh, question. The opening of the movie. Young Eric is walking up to his trailer and his horse is entangled in the barbed wire. How does this play into the story at all? Like, there was no payoff or anything. It was
I'm
just
surprised you asked that, because I know the answer.
it didn't.
It shows his physical scars as well as his emotional scars. The trailer that his mom was in burnt down. He was distraught. He loves animals. He's just a kind soul that got broken. How did you not see that? Through his wall art.
Okay, if this were your real voice, you would not be the co-host to this podcast. You're creeping me out.
Sorry, I
How did you
apologize.
not see that?
It sounded like
Sound like the
Longlegs
preacher
over here.
from Poltergeist 2. Are you scared, child?
Yeah, I would rather that voice sing me to sleep than Bill's Duolingo accents. Level 1 Espanol.
But yeah, there was zero payoff for that other than to show why he has his shitty barbed wire tattoos. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like fake death. Like,
Yeah,
the director didn't know how to purposefully add depth to the character, so they just showed a couple of flashbacks and didn't really expand on anything in the future. Just very, very hollow, surface level dialogue and scenery. It was just nothing was fleshed out to the point that made you care.
Yeah, and the only thing I have a problem with in movies is seeing animals in pain like that. So it's like, hey, thanks for that, fuckface. If it had paid off somehow, okay. I guess.
I thought of that immediately. I'm like, we're going to open with a horse that's in peril. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like, I know you want to make this character, Eric Draven, seem like an all around loving guy, and he does everything for the love. Let's just skip the animal torture. I've had enough with that in movies, and we've talked about it numerous times with the shock value of just like the animals and terror. Like that.
Yeah.
Stick to humans. Stick to something else.
Speaking of Eric Draven, tell me anything about him other than he's sad and that's it. Like I didn't really buy his relationship with Shelley in this movie. They hang out for 72 hours? And he's gonna go to the ends of the earth to save this woman? Come on.
You wouldn't understand, Phil. We don't know how he feels. I can't even compute that kind of love. No.
She'll be hooking up with the next dirtbag in his fucking Honda Civic behind the Kmart in a week.
No, she was.
These two aren't in love.
She was gonna hang out at that club and eventually fall for another SoundCloud rapper lookalike.
Yeah.
It was gonna happen eventually. But
Snorting lines of Percocet off his trap CD and his fucking Mustang.
You ever hear of the Suicide Boys? Let me put you on, girl. Let me put you on, girl. I got Riz for days. This movie should have been called The Riz. The Wizard of Oz.
All right. Okay.
But my stepbrother Mike, he texted me like an article the other day about this movie, and it was like a review, and just like one of the headlines of it was like, I can't buy their relationship because all they bond over are drugs and tattoos.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, okay. So they're in this, it's not prison, but what is it, a drug rehab facility?
That's what I don't understand, because like Shelley got arrested by the cops,
Yeah.
and they take her to rehab.
And I'm assuming that he is in there for drugs as well.
Yeah, they never talked about it.
Yeah, we're
really.
never given that information.
He's
Great
getting
writing.
bullied in rehab,
Yeah.
which was a very weird scene. I mean, they make this character so like not strong. Like they basically, this is like the making of a school shooter right here. You're like, come on, pussy, shoving him against the wall, or like not even shoving him. They're just verbally abusing him, and he's just standing there ominously, like we're supposed to connect with this. I was thinking through a lot of scenes where Eric Draven is just like not talking. I'm like, this is like what Jonathan Davis from Korn went through. He's always talking about like, stop bullying me. Like the whole Thoughtless music video. This was like one long Thoughtless music video
Yeah.
where Eric
Or,
Draven's like, reach out to me. Stop talking to me.
hey, I listened to Korn 2 days ago driving to work. Follow the Leader.
Oh, I was going to say what album? Talking issues. We talking Follow the Leader.
I went with Follow the Leader. It'd been a hot minute since I played it, but still holds up.
Dude, no song.
Other than All in the Family. That song aged like an avocado.
I guess I won't finish my thought now because I said, you know what song really gets me hyped? All in the Family. I fucking love that song. I
mean,
don't care how corny it is.
I can rap it word for word, but it doesn't make it a good song.
No, it's definitely dated. Definitely dated.
You better watch your fucking mouth, John.
So good. I hear you tooting on the bagpipes, Clyde. But you said that best. There's no place to hide. No, what the fuck you saying? Well, we were listening to that at 14. Like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah, when I was 12, I was like, damn, this song is hot.
And I still get the chills listening to that song. That is one of like the sludgiest, grimiest beats.
Yeah, musically it's good. Okay, back to The Crow.
You better watch your fucking mouth, John.
So yeah, they're in this drug rehab facility where they just let male and female inmates hang out with each other in the room. Don't buy that. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know if there's co-ed rehab. Where my mind went to.
Still got corn on the brain.
Yeah. Head monkey field.
Yeah.
See where you're going?
Okay.
I see the cornfields that you're traipsing in.
All right, quit monkeying around. Let's get back to it.
I gotta get out of my own head. Okay, I'm following the leader on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and listen to what you're saying. I apologize for this. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the co-ed rehab.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really know how that goes nowadays. I think, you know what, I do think that it definitely fell towards like every time I see like nothing is cool in modern day. Like when people just whip out a vape or whip out like a cell phone, like I know we live in this world, but it was just so like uncool to me to just see like modern technology in the world of The Crow. Maybe that's just me. That's very nitpicky.
Oh, like what, the ankle bracelets or?
And just, yeah, the ankle bracelets and like the cell phone, like people just on their like iPhones.
Yeah, like the main villain gets a fucking message on his iPhone. He's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, and like there's no thank
Not
you.
on my iPhone.
Like, they don't have any burner phones. They're literally texting, he's dead. Have they never heard of the cloud? Apple is gonna alert the authorities. Like they literally texted, Marion, he's dead. Where are we gonna go? It's just like so like uninteresting. Like there's no mystery to anything.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Back to those shitty ankle bracelets. So you're telling me they just pop off these ankle monitors and climb through a window and hey, they're free.
That's it.
That's
so easy to get. No bars. I mean, it's not jail, but like
Andy Dufresne is watching this saying, oh, this is bullshit.
Red's about to hang himself.
Yeah. He's like, I had to crawl through a river of shit to get out of Shawshank. Okay.
Literally. And like, they just went over barbed wire, no problem.
Yeah.
It's unscathed. And then they went to that little Burning Man party in the woods with their friends.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Then they're running through the woods as I think it was Joy Division was playing. Side note, the soundtrack is good if you just look at the lineup of songs. However, played across this movie with what we're seeing, it's so mismatched. No. It's like you can practically see the director saying, well, you know, if we throw Joy Division in here, that'll satisfy the goth kids. And it's like, no, this is so disconnected.
Yeah, you could put as many Bauhaus songs on, throughout a movie you want. It doesn't make your movie better. Like the song, I liked some of the songs that played. I even didn't mind like some parts of the score. Some parts of the score weren't bad, but like I didn't feel anything coming off of the screen. Like you said, when they were like, we were at them walking through the woods and then they get up to this lavish apartment that she's staying at. Like it didn't feel gritty. It didn't feel cool. Like, I don't know what they were going for.
I don't think they know what they were going for.
Like the characters weren't even fully realized. Like even if you wanted to do like a whole, like, they were just so tortured and broken and they were just so hooked on the drugs. They didn't even go full bore into that.
Yeah, that could have been a good opportunity for Eric and Shelley to talk about their, I don't know, why they sought refuge in drugs and, I don't know, give us some character development. But they're like, hey, thanks for breaking me out of drug rehab. You want to do some drugs? It's like, yeah, girl, get that Molly. Shit. I'm trying to turn up. Shit.
Oh, yo, what's the lituation in here, cuh? At least he didn't drop a cuh.
I said, forget about it, cuh.
I wish I could forget about this movie, cuh, because whoa. Also, another issue that I had, like they didn't really, like you said, going back to them just like not really knowing each other, like falling in love with a feeling, which is fine, but it wasn't just displayed in a well executed manner. Like he saw that she hid one thing in the wall, and all of a sudden he's like, I need to go into a room and check the walls for something, which I don't even know what I'm looking for. Like, you don't know this chick. How do you just know that she hides things in walls? It was just a weird choice to do.
Yeah, good
in
point.
My mind.
During a lot of this in-between type shit, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of just daydreaming at times. I had to be like, oh, okay, all right, watch the movie.
Yeah,
you got to talk about it. Yeah, focus. Come on.
Need some of Eric Draven's Adderall.
Yeah, the drug thing. It's like if he was truly in love with this girl and she was like, hey, you want to do some Molly? He would have been like, hey, hang on, let's talk about this. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
And we were talking about this on the phone.
It also cheapens their relationship because they're on Molly. I've done Molly before. I fell in love with a tree. Okay, like that doesn't mean it's true love.
I'm sure the tree reacted a lot more to situations than Bill Skarsgård in this role.
I mean, I didn't actually fall in love with the tree. I'm just saying, like people, you take Molly or some shit and you're full of love. Everything's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not love. This is not a representation.
No, it seemed just like even like just pure infatuation couldn't even like get across. Like they were hanging out, making music, and just seeing the back of Bill Skarsgård's like Gen Z no cap mullet.
Yeah.
Using like Logic Pro, I was like, I'm out. This is I can't watch this anymore. It was just so, like, just because FKA Twigs is an artist in real life doesn't mean you need to shoehorn it into the movie. I like her. I don't know how her music is. I never saw her as an actress. I think she's charming as a person. Better writing could have suited her better.
Yeah, I just think
What am I trying to say?
Yeah, like she seems lovely. Never heard her music. I thought she was a little dull in this, as well as Bill Skarsgård.
I don't know what Bill Skarsgård was thinking with these acting choices,
Yeah,
because it was just he was just playing it like he scrolled through TikTok one too many times to prepare for this role. I feel like it's just lame, boring, and it just seemed like just everything about his character was uninteresting. There was nothing. He had tattoos. He was making beats with FKA Twigs, and I don't know. It was just so forced that they were trying to reach out to a newer audience.
yeah. He's one of those guys that thinks that the more tattoos he gets, the more interesting he will be. But there's nothing interesting about this guy, like at all. He's just there. It's like, okay, you're a brooding emo goth dude with I don't know, all these tattoos, which were technically well done, which is why I don't think he got all his tattoos in a living room. Just saying.
Yeah, no, but he was in such a drugged out stupor that he didn't even know he was in someone's apartment.
Yeah, just I mean, we both have plenty of tattoos. I'm like, there's no way
That's not our personality.
this shitty living room tattoo artist is churning out that good a line work. There's not a single blowout on his shitty tattoos.
No, and you need to make if you want this character to really not give a shit, make the tattoos shitty and just jaggedy and broken, just like the fact that he just doesn't care. But this shows that he cared too much.
Easy, Papa Rich.
The scars remind us that the past is real.
Bill Skarsgård remind us.
Bill Skarsgård in this movie. Going back to the director's chair here, Rupert Sanders needs to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, he
How many times can you churn out middle to just garbage projects where the studio wants to give you money anymore? He did Ghost in the Shell. He did, what was that other movie he did?
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Snow White and the Huntsman. It's just miss after miss. And first of all, not a great project to start with, or to start back up with, but he just has there's nothing to him.
Yeah, that's why he should just shoot Allegra commercials and stuff, like people frolicking in a field while somebody reads off a list of side effects. He can pull that off.
Easily.
Yeah, he can point a camera and shoot. You don't need any creative lighting or anything unique. Just, hey, capture this person doing this. There you go.
You give him Allegra commercials, give him Viagra commercials.
Instructional videos for when you're hired to a new company.
Also a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe Civil War reenactment videos. Just chopping together old footage where he doesn't actually have to use a camera. He can just put together old archival footage on iMovie. But going back to I'm just comparing it to Alien Romulus because it's recent and it's another movie that we saw, rebooted or remade or, new part of. Fede Alvarez has something to offer. Rupert Sanders just has nothing to him.
I mean, even the original Crow, you can put that movie on mute and just visually watch it, and it's still beautiful. Interesting. There's a unique vision to it. It's got this dirty, rainy, gritty feeling to it. Yeah, this one was just an Allegra commercial. A gothic, well, not even goth. This movie's an insult to goth.
This is incel Allegra.
Sure,
this is if you walk into a Hot Topic now and they don't have the right Funko Pop that you want. They don't have that Eric Draven Chase figure. You just start to get allergies and you start to sneeze, and what do you know? Incel Allegra.
It's just a nothing movie.
A big old nothing burger.
Yeah.
Just unnecessary. There was no point to be made. There was no point of love. There was no point of revenge. There was no point of how far are you willing to go for the person you love. There was none of that.
Oh, how about at the very end when he's talking to the shaman guy or whatever? Wait, no, he's talking to Shelly. He's like, oh, if I could go back and relive every moment, I would. It's like, what? Every 72 whole hours?
It's the most he felt alive in a long time. But
Yeah.
and just going off of that,
Half of that was on Molly, so it doesn't even count.
exactly. They were all glassy eyed. They couldn't even see each other.
Yeah.
The dialogue was so hacky. Like,
Yeah.
we've heard it all before. We've heard every single thing that was said in that movie before and done better.
The guy that
And fake
wrote,
John Turturro being the shaman was just like, all right, we get it.
that was John Turturro?
Oh, I said fake John Turturro.
Oh, okay.
He looked like John Turturro.
Kinda, yeah.
I'm
now
sure
that
they
you
couldn't
mention it.
afford John Turturro.
Yeah. He should be in more stuff. He's great.
Did you see him in the Batman? Did you watch the Batman?
Oh, the Robert Pattinson?
Yes,
Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson.
I did not.
Dude, I know you don't like superhero movies, but
I like some Batman stuff.
John Turturro is in that movie and he's fucking great. And it reminds you how incredible he is.
He's also great in Secret Window.
I don't believe I know you.
I know that. That doesn't matter. I know you, Mr. Rainey. That's what matters. You stole my story.
Love that movie.
Wow, yeah. I actually never finished that movie, but
It's
I
great.
did. Yeah, we were talking. What were we talking about? Johnny Depp last time.
From Hell.
Yes, From Hell. The other one that I still can't think of.
You know what's an underrated mob movie? Donnie Brasco.
Never saw it.
Fucking great. Johnny Depp, Al Pacino.
Yes, I know. Patrice O'Neill mentioned that on Opie and Anthony way back in the day, and they were talking about like mob movies like that, and he was like, I would watch, Goodfellas and Casino over The Godfather, but also Donnie Brasco. And
Yep.
I was like, I never seen that movie, so that's going on the list.
It's great. Watched it several times.
Love a good mob movie.
Yeah, Al Pacino. I'm known all over the 5 boroughs. Ask anybody. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Hey, that's a fugazi.
Daisy.
Okay, I know that we would rather talk about anything but The Crow. But yeah, any other thoughts on The Crow?
This movie was a big pile of shit. Listen, if you enjoyed it,
Yeah.
you could enjoy both the original. You could enjoy this movie. If you liked it, I'm glad you connected with this movie. I thought this movie was a big waste of time and film and everything. But I'm glad I saw it in the theater. I'm glad you saw it in the theater.
Me too.
This is the only way I'm watching it. Yeah, this movie just has no real inherent value. I don't think I think this movie could be erased from history and no one would ever realize that it's gone. Because there's just no style, no mood, no atmosphere. The acting is just atrocious. The writing is atrocious. The directing is atrocious. This guy should not get work anymore. He should go work at a gas station and pump the gas for the car that I don't have. Actually, I just joined my girlfriend's insurance policy so he could actually pump my gas.
Yeah, top it off, Rupert.
I said $40, you idiot. Give me a pack of gum.
You no vision cardboard motherfucker.
He's going to be on the, you know what? I think this might be the first time a director is going to go into the Melissa Barrera Spirit Award category.
Hey. Okay.
Because that-
I don't know if I'll have to consult with the higher ups at the Spookies and run
Yeah.
it by them. I think we could make that work.
yeah, talk to our sponsors. Arby's is agreeing with us.
Hey, Bill Skarsgård might be in the NyQuil Presents the Sleepwalking Award.
This is the I'm here for the paycheck award.
Yeah, I was
Absolutely.
just watching an interview earlier and just him talking about this movie. He seems like so bored. Like, yeah, you know, I did the movie.
I want him in a, you know, like 60 minutes apology tour, and just like so curious as to why he chose to do this movie, because it was so hard to make in general. Like Jason Momoa was attached to it. It's been in development hell for so many years, and it finally got made, and just this is the reason why it shouldn't have gotten made.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not flat out opposed to any sort of remake or whatever you want to call it, as long as you take that idea and do something interesting with it and put some integrity into it. Like, just take a fucking swing, and if you miss, then whatever. But don't just... The worst thing a movie can be is boring. And this was fucking boring.
Boring and soulless.
Yeah.
Pun intended. This movie was soulless. As much as we weren't a huge fan of Alien Romulus, Fede Alvarez took some swings. And you either went with it or you didn't. And at least he was trying. You could tell he cared about the Alien franchise. You could tell he cared about the fans heavily. At least it was something that you could go, you know what? It wasn't for me, but at least he tried. At least he took risks. This was so safe and boring and bland.
And by doing that, you end up pleasing nobody. So nobody respects you, Rupert. Go home.
You literally shine my shoes, you filthy son of a bitch. You should be working in Penn Station shining shoes.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
I don't think we have anything else to say about The Crow. Unless I'm forgetting something.
Unless you want to pull an Evanescence and bring me back to life, I can't think of shit.
Hey,
That's what this was lacking. A new metal soundtrack.
Yeah. A little Spine Shank never killed anybody. Just saying.
Static X.
That's another thing. If you're going to try to divorce yourself so far from the original source material, like, lean into it. Bring in like a fucking like trap beat filled soundtrack. Like, lean into it. Don't go this route, but drag along a fucking goth soundtrack. Because I see what you're doing, Rupert. You're thinking that the old school fans are going to be like, well, you know, Joy Division. It's like, no, fuck you. No.
That's called
Pandering?
not thinking your audience is smart enough to just attach itself to a potent story, throwing the worst dialogue together, terribly written characters, and being like, but Tears for Fears is playing over it. Look.
Right.
No, we're not looking at the shiny light. Sorry, Rupert.
Hey, you know that scene where they're like running through the forest after they break out of the rehab center?
Yes. Like
there's your
Teletubbies?
Allegra commercial. Like, just put the logo in the bottom of it.
Well, I know it's going in this video. That could totally happen.
Oh, man.
But yeah, this movie was a big old pile of poopy.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I can't say it's a great movie. It's not insultingly bad to the point where, like, I've seen far worse. Just saying.
I have to really think about it. This is pretty bad. This was pretty bad. I heard there was like 3 people in the theater. I was sitting in row E, seat 6. The guy another guy was in my row, but he was like maybe 5 seats down, and there was another guy 2 rows in front of me. I heard the guy's eyes rolling. And there were scenes where I was just like, oh God, just like so out of it. This might be just really, really awful. I was putting it in my list of like my Litterbox year in review of 2024. After I see a new movie, I like to, since it's fresh in my brain, put it in a spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the worst thing I've seen this year, but it's damn close.
Well, with the shitty box office performance, I think it's safe to say there will not be a sequel. I don't think anybody's clamoring for that. So,
No.
God,
It didn't even crack the top 5.
Dude, it must suck to be like a hardcore Crow fan, because after the original, I like City of Angels. Most people don't, but man, you got like the Edward Furlong. There's a few others that are dog shit.
I just think The Crow is very. I understand why it's very special to people, because it's lightning in a bottle type of movie. There weren't a lot of comic book movies being adapted to film in that time. Brandon Lee was just like a charming dude, and he really nailed that role. Like, he's remembered. Like, the movie is what, like 25 years old, maybe even more.
30.
30.
Yeah, came out in 94.
People still talk about that movie.
Yeah,
People say it's one of the best comic book adaptations of all time, and I'll give that to them, because it's really a unique and special type of movie. And when you have that, it's very hard to piggyback off of it. It's very hard to branch off and do something close to it. So I think we should appreciate what we have and not continue any more Crow-related projects.
I think you're right. I think that's a good call.
Sometimes, I mean, if I was, if you were in a position at the studio to make this call, if I was in a position at the studio to make a call, sometimes you gotta just look at the emo lyrics on the wall and just put an end to it.
Numb. Ooh, this guy's deep.
Now, someone listens to the Deftones.
You mean Linkin Park?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just going. Yep. I was going with the new metal reference. I'm
Okay.
stupid.
Oh,
Would have been better if I said Linkin Park. Shit. Fucking hybrid dreary. Am I right?
yeah.
I had to get the gears working a little bit.
Hybrid dreary. That's great. Oh,
Fucking mediocre.
oh shit.
This movie really was a crash course. Is that the Linkin Park and Jay-Z collab album? Crash Test?
I don't know.
It was something like that.
Hey Doug, I am going on a cruise this week. So when this comes out, I think this might be out on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. But point being, I'll be gone for like a week. Doug will be holding down the Spook House Instagram, so
I will be on it. Phil can't post all the time, so I will be.
yeah.
I will either be there posting some stuff. Gonna clip some stuff out. Daddy's gonna go get his well-deserved tan on.
You know what? I seriously hope I don't get just sunburned to shit, because we're going to be on stage like a few days after I get back. So I don't want to be like a piece of beef jerky on stage trying to interview people.
People are gonna think where's your MAGA hat? This dude's orange. But yes, and then after Phil gets back from his lovely vacation in the Bahamas, baby, drinking those mojitos.
Now I'm going to be drinking lots of water.
That's right, baby. That's what I like to hear.
As a sober person, I'm sure I'm going to be around a lot of sloppy fucking drunk people on a boat.
It's been a year and like 8 months? 6 months?
Like a year and 3.
That's fucking solid, baby.
Something like that.
Year and 3 months strong. Getting you a bracelet.
Hey, yeah. Don't even think about it.
Don't even need to. But yes, we will be celebrating many more things at the Tidewater Horror Convention, September 13th, 14th, 15th, down at the old China Beach, Virginia Beach, VA.
That's right.
which is
and
not near the Mothman Museum.
No, it is not. And we will be hosting the Sunday panel. Lachlan Monroe got added to our panel, which,
Where's the foot?
dude, that's crazy.
I want to ask him about that line.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm watching Scary Movie tonight. I tried to search for it last night, and it was like, oh, you got to rent it for $3 or whatever.
It's worth
I'm
it.
renting it. I'm
Worth the
renting
rental.
it. Yeah.
If you're in the mood to watch something, just do it. Me and Brittany watched Mulholland Drive last night, but we didn't get to finish it. We have 36 minutes left. But shit, Scary Movie might be next.
Yeah, you can't put on like some abstract, deep thinking David Lynch style shit at 10:30 at night. That's just asking for trouble.
Yeah, that might have been a little mistake, but it was very intriguing the whole time. She was into it the whole time. She was like I was the first time I saw it, confused.
Still haven't seen it.
I think you'll be into it. I mean, you liked Blue Velvet, which is weird
Yeah.
in its own right, but I mean, if I had to pick a degree of palability, is that a word? For David Lynch movies,
Yeah, I think so.
we'll go with it, even if it's not.
Should be if it's not.
Palability just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Very palpable.
Palpable. A lot of P's, a lot of B's. PB sandwich palpable. I would have to say Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway, Eraserhead, Inland Empire. I haven't seen The Straight Story, so I have no say on that. But Mulholland Drive is mind blowing.
Okay. I'll check it out. Hey, quick thought. We were talking about how we're going to wrap this up soon, but how this movie shouldn't have been made. I think that with the right director, this could have been a great movie with Bill Skarsgård as the Crow. I mean, imagine, I know this isn't his style, but imagine Robert Eggers directing The Crow.
Oh, I do.
I do.
He wouldn't sound like Dr. Robotnik from Sonic then. But yeah, Robert Eggers with the Crow. Sign me up.
Or somebody that has a vision. I don't know.
Literally anybody else.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think we will see any new Crow movies for quite a while now. Because
last stop in Yuma County, $5 to rent.
Okay.
Just throwing that out there.
Still renting Scary Movie. Sorry.
You could that could be a one you and Ashley could watch the night before your cruise.
Yeah. Hey, I've never been on a cruise. I don't know what to expect. But
Do you do well on boats?
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
Cool.
I don't get seasick.
Okay, I was gonna say grab some Dramamine just in case, but I think with a cruise, like you don't really feel the ship moving.
Yeah, I mean, this boat is fucking massive. It's like a city, basically.
You're gonna be in like Epcot on the water.
Yeah, pretty much.
What? How far is the trip from Florida to the Bahamas?
I have no idea. It's going to like different islands, so we're going to be here one day and then go further, and yeah, it's like a whole trek across the Atlantic.
Damn, you're gonna be like Bella Baxter in Poor Things. Hopefully, you don't see some dead homeless children.
Yeah, hope not.
It's been a bad day for Philip Jarman.
Stop by the brothel.
Yeah, just smash your head against the bar.
All right, Doug. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Let's do it, baby.
This was an episode. We talked about the movie.
I'm surprised we went for an hour on this.
Yeah, me too.
But we had a lot to say.
Yeah, and tomorrow night we will be recording with our good friends at Tapeheads United. So that episode will be on their channel. Do us a favor, go over there, Follow them. They're great dudes.
Yes.
Can't wait to talk with them tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a verbal bloodbath. Follow them on Instagram, Tapeheads United. Also, their solo pages. They're dope people. Wicked VHS and Absolute Misery. Those are the homies. So, yeah,
Good
check them out.
dudes.
Yes, solid dudes.
Yeah. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below what drug commercial you want to see Rupert Sanders direct. Viagra?
Do you want... This movie will give you suicidal thoughts, diarrhea, heartache, pain. Do not consult a doctor for this. Once you see it, you will die. It's like The Ring, except worse.
Well, on that note, we are going to get on out of here. Doug, love you. It's always
Love you,
fun.
baby.
Always fun talking with you.
Oh, we talked a lot of shit. Also, Tidewater, Horror Fest. If you're in Virginia Beach, come say what's up to your boys. We'll have a table on deck. We'll have stickers, posters, tapes, maybe shirts. Maybe our balls will be out. Who knows?
Maybe. Who
Things
knows?
can get crazy. Things can get wild.
All right, Seinfeld.
We're just,
Who knows?
it's a convention about nothing. What's the deal with balls on the table? Can we get some decent service? All right, I'll stop.
All right, we will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.